Hello friends, I am Rajesh Pal and in this video we will talk about plasma membrane. At first, welcome to my channel Nothing But Biology. Today we will talk about plasma membrane. What is plasma membrane? The covering of cell, the covering of eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell, অর্থাৎ the covering of living cell is known as plasma membrane. The definition of plasma membrane. What is the definition? Every living cell consists of a trilayer of lipoprotein which actually protect the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So what is the definition of plasma membrane? Every living cell consists of a trilayer of lipoprotein and which protect the nucleus and the cytoplasm is known as plasma membrane. What actually plasma membrane contain? What actually plasma membrane contain? Plasma membrane contain three things. One, lipid. Two, protein. And three, carbohydrate. Actually, lipid is more, then protein, and then carbohydrate. Many scientists actually, what is the structure of plasma membrane? The structure of plasma membrane is widely accepted, the fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. Many scientists gave many models for the structure of plasma membrane, but in 1972 Singer and Nicholson gave a model for the structure of plasma membrane. This model is known as fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model. This fluid mosaic model is widely accepted. This model is widely accepted in the world. And then detailed structure we will talk. fluid mosaic model. Fluid mosaic model. What is প্রথমে আমরা কি দেখেছিলাম? At first we saw lipid. Mainly three types of lipid present in plasma membrane. At first we draw a cell. I think this is a cell and this is the plasma membrane. And we cut this part and zoom it out. What is look like? Look like this. According to the fluid mosaic model of Singer and Nicholson. This is zoom part of this part, and these are lipids. There is mainly three types of lipid: phospholipid, sphingolipid, and three cholesterol. And phospholipid is most price 70%. And this green like lipids are phospholipid and red like lipids are sphingolipid, and these bluish color lipids are cholesterol. These lipids have two things, two parts. One is polar part and another is non-polar part. This polar part is hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic means attraction towards the water. And this non-polar part is hydrophobic in nature. When water comes to the hydrophobic part and it moves away, this don't like this part, this non-polar part or this hydrophobic part does not like water. And this is the lipid part of plasma membrane. This lipid part or lipids are called amphipathic molecule. Amphipathic molecule, because this lipid part have two regions. One is polar and another is non-polar. That's why lipid is called amphipathic molecule. Why? Because lipid has one polar and one non-polar region. And these lipids can exchange their place throughout the movement, and this movement is known as flip-flop movement. known as flip-flop movement. What? One lipid can exchange, two lipid can exchange their place in partially and in the two layer, between two layer of lipid. They can go through the layer and it can go through the layer. This is the flip-flop movement of lipids. And let's come to the point. Let's come to the point. The protein. The protein. The protein. The proteins are actually embedded in the lipid bilayer, like this, and also like this. Also like this. This looks like the iceberg in a big sea. This protein actually floated in the lipid bilayer, and this is in quasi-fluid state. What is quasi-fluid state? What is quasi-fluid state? When this lipid is not actually solid and not pure liquid. This is the mid-range of solid and liquid, and that's why the protein can move through this lipid bilayer. That's why the protein and lipid embedding is known as quasi-fluid state. These proteins are actually two types. These proteins are actually two types. One is intrinsic protein or integral protein, and another is extrinsic protein or extrinsic protein. What is this? These protein are extrinsic protein. And this protein is intrinsic protein. The proteins which are present in one layer of lipid bilayer and the outer layer of the lipid bilayer, they are known as extrinsic protein. And the intrinsic protein which actually moves through the bilayer of the lipid. These protein are called intrinsic protein. And this protein, when they present together, this protein can form a channel. Through this channel, elements or necessary things can move. This is also works like a carrier protein and channel protein, and movement of this to this port, movement of enzyme also happened. This part is protein part of plasma membrane. What we concerning protein part? Actually, protein part, protein are embedded in the lipid bilayer like quasi-fluid state or iceberg, and extrinsic and intrinsic protein, which are present in the extrinsic protein present in the outer layer or one layer in the lipid bilayer, and intrinsic protein present in the throughout the lipid bilayer. Understand? Let's come to the point, carbohydrate. These carbohydrates are actually oligosaccharide. These carbohydrates are actually oligosaccharide, and when carbohydrate attached with protein, this is known as carbohydrate plus protein is known as glycoprotein. And when carbohydrate is attached with lipid is known as carbohydrate plus lipid is known as glycolipid. Understand? The two types of actually carbohydrate is oligosaccharide in nature, and when carbohydrate attached with protein is known as glycoprotein, and when carbohydrate is attached with lipid is known as glycolipid. And actually in this video we will also talk about the function of plasma membrane. Many functions have found of plasma membrane, but we will consult today some main function of plasma membrane. Actually it give function shape প্রদান করে, give the shape of the cell, shape, help in the movement of nutrient and many other things. Nutrient or others, etc. And pinocytosis and phagocytosis found in plasma membrane, and which helps in the death of bacteria and virus or antigen. Pinocytosis and phagocytosis. And also helps in the chemical receptor like hormone, chemical receptor like hormone, and many other functions have found, but we will talk mainly this point.